Hello, Messiah. I am back in our sanctuary the day after Christmas, and I just wanted to remember with you what a beautiful Christmas Eve it was. At the 3 o'clock family service, we had such a wide variety of ensembles. Some were just stunningly beautiful, some were cute, and they were all pointing us to Jesus. And what a beautiful service it was. So I apologize on behalf of all of us for those of you who really wanted to catch it but were watching at home. And usually there's no problem doing that, but for some reason, tech and otherwise, we just didn't do it this year. And so I apologize. There was even a couple families who came in about 10 minutes late, 15 minutes late. I'm like, that's unusual. I wonder, they're not usually late. It turns out they were trying to watch at home and then they couldn't get it, so they all packed up and drove over. Anyway, and then the 10 o'clock service, as always, with the darkness outside and the beauty of the candlelight. What an amazing experience it was, for me anyway, and I'm sure for many of you from what I've heard. I'm back in the sanctuary because I love the holiness that happens in a room after the Spirit has done a great work. I don't know if you're like this, but after the kids open their presents and there's been maybe a breakfast that everybody's laughed and told stories around, and then the room gets empty. People go their own directions, or they start playing games or reading books, and there's a holiness in the room because we know that the Lord was there, and we got to be part of it. That's how I feel in this sanctuary. Whoa! That's how I feel in this sanctuary the day after Christmas. And I am somewhat clumsy, but what I just bumped into was not my own feet, but the reason I'm also talking to you today. And that is, behind me is the baptistry tank. And one of the things that the Holy Spirit did during Advent was he stirred the hearts of two 20-something-year-old men, one recently married, one recently a new dad. And these two men, they want the Spirit that they felt over Advent, at Christmas, to be part of their lives for the rest of their lives. So these two young men are being baptized this weekend. Now, on Saturday, which is normally not best practice, right? We like to do it on Sunday, but we made an exception because there's so many family members of these two men and their wives who want to be here. And I just want to point that out because when the Holy Spirit starts moving in your life, when God says he's got a plan for your life, and you admit you feel it and you're going to say yes to it, you don't want to wait. You want to lay down your life in front of the throne of God and say, send me where you want to. I'm ready to be your servant. And so that's happening this weekend. And then the day after, this coming Sunday, we will have the blessing of celebrating the 12 days of Christmas and thinking about what a whole 12 months living in Christmas could be like for all of us. So I want to say thank you for those who came on Christmas Eve, especially thanks for those of you who invited friends to come, and let you know that although our new sermon series starts in January with Christmas, the sequel stories, we've got a beautiful service this Sunday too. And if you read this, if you watch this in time, pray for those men who are being baptized on Saturday, saying yes to Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, and having their lives changed with Jesus' love. See you Sunday.